What's up, Reese? It's a new show of Kicking It with the Crosbys. First show as a fully official retired football player. So,
Surprised you have a shirt on. This is weird. I thought you just like retirement, just like go all. I'd be like, yeah, I don't wear shirts anymore. I don't know. Do you
yeah,
have flip flops on? Do you
yeah.
have like sandals on?
I mean, I have slippers on.
Yeah, you
Is that
do. Are they
worse? I mean,
are they
we
Uggs? Are they your Uggs?
no.
Don't put your feet on camera. But
These are literally like house shoes.
those are the most old man retired slippers I've ever seen in my entire life. Unbelievable. Wow.
I'm full in. But the funny thing is this is pretty much what I wear every day, even when I was
Yeah.
playing. So I mean, I'd wear these around the stadium. I've been preparing for this moment for a long time.
You have. You're like a day and a half in and you're already just like full immersion.
I know it's kind of crazy that my beard's just not already like, full and out. Like I just feel like everything was gonna just change
Oh,
instantly.
so good. So good.
Oh, yeah, this is what is this? Day two of
Day 2.
retirement.
Big
Yeah,
time, man.
countdown has started. I mean, I wish I could say I had like, ridden off into the sun. Like I'm down. Like I am going to Florida next week. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about
What
that.
is
I
happening?
am going to Florida. I'm like fully in. I'm going to West Palm Beach. I'm flying into West Palm
Oh,
Beach, Florida,
oh,
week after retirement. I mean, it's fully there. I am fully
man.
in. Well, we got a good show for you, and we're going to talk. Obviously, big game coming up. Super Bowl Sunday on the horizon. Let's talk about this Super Bowl to start, and let's start with this Kansas City Chiefs team.
Talk
So
about it. I'm
I want
ready.
to talk about this Chiefs team in relation, obviously, kind of who they are, what they're about, what they need to do to beat this Eagles team. Do they just need to show up? Do they need to do something special? Do they need to have Mahomes magic? Find
Ooh.
some Red Raider action
Oh, there it
coming
is.
coming up, or are they just the better team? So, Reese, I'm going to let you take it away on your thoughts, and then I'm going to tell you where you're wrong.
I did not see that coming.
I know. I
Um,
love when I get you.
that was good. All right, so Kansas City Chiefs. All right, are they the better team? No. Are they the maybe overall all around better offense? Yes. Like there's
Okay.
aspects like I mean, we're at the Super Bowl here. Everyone's good. Like this is not there's no Cinderella happening right now. Both teams in this are quality. And we know what's going to happen. I mean, like Pat Mahomes is going to make some ridiculous plays. It's going to happen. Like there'll be players that come out of nowhere that maybe haven't been doing much in the playoffs or even during the season that's going to show up and do something like amazing. But it's one of those things like the Chiefs need to stay on the field for as long as possible on their offense, which they can do very well. And then the obvious answer is then you stop the run. Like you make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. I don't think he's completed over like 18 passes
Yeah.
in the game in like all forever. So it's just like one of those
He
things
wants
where
to
like
throw 70 yards,
they're
like
not going to throw
70%
the ball.
checkdowns. Yeah.
They're not going to throw the ball. Like so you stop the run, you make him throw, and then you go from there. So I mean, again, Mahomes is going to do crazy stuff. It's going to happen. Like I don't know how he ever runs the ball because his strides are like a foot and a half at a time. Because I don't know. I guess his hammies are like super tight. I have no idea. But like
I don't know. His
watching him
knees
run
are really
hurts me.
close together. Like it's
It's a lot.
but
But he
he's
does it. He
unbelievable.
makes stuff happen.
Question: Travis Kelsey, more or less 62 and a half receiving yards.
Less because here's something that bothered me, by the way, in the AFC Championship game is how do you have a player on the podium accepting a trophy that had 2
But didn't do
catches for
anything.
like 8 minutes? Like why does he get to be up there? I don't understand. That drives me nuts. Anyways, he makes things happen too. And so like he's one of those guys that like hasn't been doing a whole lot, and then all of a sudden now he'll just like he might go off, but he's going under.
That is a good point. That's before we get to like Eagles and then like a deep dive, kind of like comparing and like how this game might go. Like who decides that? Like why? Yeah, why is Travis Kelsey get to be up on on the podium. Like, is it just popularity contest? Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just who is kind of the leader, the voice of the teams, all that.
It is
Um,
100% popularity contest. Like you, even like the MVP of the Super Bowl might not be up there at first. Like if it's not, let's just say the Chiefs win. If it's not, Mahomes or Kelsey as the MVP, the MVP will just come up, accept the trophy, and then go back down. And those
who
two will
else
be up
could
there the
win the
whole time.
MVP of this Super Bowl for the Chiefs? Like, name another player. Name a player on their offense that could be the MVP.
Xavier Worthy, he could do it. He runs and catches. I'm just saying. You asked me to name another person, and that's
You
who
did.
I
All
came
right.
up with.
Congratulations. You did. You were successful. All right. Let's shift to the Eagles real quick and just talk about their strengths, what they're what they are looking to do. Obviously, for me, their defense is is could give this Kansas City offense some fits. I mean, their defense is unbelievable. They play good, sound, steady defense. This postseason, they've been more of an attacking defense where they're
An
not just
attacking
sitting.
defense,
Yeah, it's a
like
rare breed.
like an offensive defense.
No, it's a rare breed of defense. They attack. Yeah,
Got it. They
it's
are
a
Eagles
hybrid.
after all.
A hybrid. Um, but no, like their whole season, they were kind of more of like a bend don't break, like try to keep teams out of the end zone, like a lot of field goals, give the offense the ball back, with turnovers, and then run the clock, milk the clock, just like lots of time of possession. But this postseason, they've just been like, they've been going at teams and really dictating what they kind of want to get them into, like scheme wise. The issue is you're facing a Kansas City team that literally does not let anyone dictate how they want to do things, right? Like
Right.
if you say like, "Hey, we want to make you do this," they will adjust really quick and they'll do that like at a high level, and then you're like, "Oh dang, now we're scrambling and we're in a bad position." So I think this game, and this isn't like a big hot take, obviously. It's wild because you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Jalen Hurts, you have Saquon Barkley, you have Travis Kelsey at times, like can be he can affect games. Xavier Worthy, you have some explosive guys on Kansas City, but like this is going to be a defensive game. Like these defenses are going to dictate how this goes, and it's going to be about turnovers. It's going to be all of that. So I think these teams all year have pretty much gone how their defenses go. If the Chiefs can stop Saquon and Jalen Hurts running the ball, like you said, and make Jalen Hurts throw the ball more than 18 times in this game, I think that's the Chiefs' best chance to win this game as
Well,
well.
yeah, I mean,
So,
like the Chiefs barely ever scored 30 points like the entire season. Like
until
that's
they played the
outrageous
Bills, which is
until
crazy. How
until
did
they
they
played the
score?
Bills.
I look at
I
that
don't
game
understand.
and I'm like, how did they get 32 points? Like, where did they come from?
Like
Like,
it's been the most boring season, and it's so funny. It's just how it works. Like the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, but yet they could barely ever score 30 points all season long.
yeah,
Like they were this close to being a 500 team, like
yeah.
multiple times. Like, it's outrageous. But hey, I mean, this is how it works, and this is how it happens. And like I've said before, like I will take experience over anything. Like both these teams have been here though, obviously recently, but like the Chiefs keep coming back. They're here. They know how these games work. Like it's pretty impressive that they keep coming back. And for me, yeah, that's the exciting part. And like because these guys keep coming back, like that is exciting. That is cool. It's impressive. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. So
I applaud greatness and success. Like I want to see the best teams like do
right?
well and win these games. Like I'm not in favor of like the underdog in the Super Bowl winning. Like which again, in a Super Bowl, like underdog is like kind of a weird statement. It's like who's an underdog
That's
once you've
yeah, right,
gotten there.
right.
But I don't want the team. I want the team that's supposed to win to win. Like I want the team that's the best team in the
So
NFL. Like I don't want it to.
you don't you're not an underdog. You're not a dark horse guy. What's the is it the overdog? The top dog?
Top dog.
Is
Yeah.
it top dog?
I don't know. I mean, call me top dog if you want. That's fine.
Mason top dog Crosby. So
Like,
you're not an underdog guy. You're like, yeah, again, like team X-Blades. You want, the
oh
better
my
team to
gosh.
win. You're not like
Yeah.
a soul skater, and you want like anyone that can just like have fun. They can come in. You're like,
See, you're so funny though, because you talk about that and like you talk about team pup and suds, and that guy was the best skater. Like he deserved to
right.
win because he was the best skater.
Hey,
Like
you know what?
just because he wasn't like couldn't fit in with X-Blades guys, and he
Oh,
just
he
like
did fit in, and he did fit in. But I mean, like he's over there.
he
They're
lost
racing. Like,
himself. He was the best skater. That guy, like, think about they knew who they were. They were confident in themselves, and they stayed true to who they were. If anything, X-Blades guys are the most like they're the most consistent of all of them. Like team,
just because they're
like
getting
what
paid
is the
doesn't
guy's
mean they're
name
better,
again?
man. Just
Team
Val.
Puppin.
Oh, no, Andy Brinker.
Oh, Brinker, yeah. Andy Brinker literally did not know himself. He went on a soul-searching journey and finally found it. But if anything, yeah, I look at the team X Blades. It's like they know who they are. They're confident. They do their thing. Like don't like unapologetically go out there and be great. Boom. Okay.
Team X played spokesperson Mason Crosby. All right, Super Bowl. I love the sidebar rant. That's like classic us. Just like, oh, we're going on this conversation. Rant.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the movie, Reese, tell them about your all-time favorite underdog movie, The Brink. It's
Brink?
called Brink, right?
It's called Brink. Yeah, of course it's called Brink.
If you haven't seen Brink, check it out. It's probably on Disney Plus. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is actually. Yeah,
it's
one of my favorite movies. It's shaped me who I am as a person. Anyways,
let's pick this game, and then we're going to talk Packers Super Bowl memories and kind of what this what this journey looks like from a personal perspective. So Chiefs Eagles. But Chiefs are favored by 1.5.
Wow.
The over-under is 48.5. So the prognosticators, if you will.
Wow.
You like that big word? I'm retired now. I read a lot.
Oh my gosh.
I'm well versed in this is if you didn't see, I was reading. This is what? It's a dictionary.
This. Hello. Mason's breaking a mental sweat now.
I'm breaking a mental sweat. All right.
Who you got? Who you got? Chiefs,
over.
Eagles, Super Bowl.
All right, we're gonna do a 1, 2, 3. Say who we think is gonna win. Ready? Are you ready? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. All right. 1, 2, 3. Eagles.
Chiefs. No way.
Oh,
no way.
All right.
All right. The Chiefs. The Chiefs are winning this game for sure. Calling it. I'm going with the three-peat here. Texas Tech is stepping up, and Texas Tech is winning. I mean, the Chiefs are winning this. And here's another reason why I pick it real quick.
Though, is the Chiefs are going to win by 1, and then I'm going to
You're going to cover. All right. My prediction then is it's going to be 28 to 26, 2 points. Boom. Take that.
That's a good pick. I think it's, actually, I'm picking the Eagles to cover, to win in the betting odds, but I'm going to pick Chiefs 24, actually 21. No, I think they're going to score more actually. So I'm going to say 28-27.
Oh, so you covered too, but you think the Chiefs are going to win, but Eagles are covering? Well, here's it
covers me in all things. I'm covered in all fronts.
Here's the funny thing for me with this game too is as far as on the field players who I want to win, I kind of enjoy the Eagles players more because they're not in your face anymore. The Chiefs players are always in your face. Pat Mahomes is on every commercial that ever exists. Travis Kelce is in movies now, and commercials, and Taylor Swift, blah, blah, blah. The on the field players for the Chiefs are driving me nuts. So in that regard, the Eagles. But then when you go to the fan bases, we cannot let the Eagles win this. The Eagles fan base is the most embarrassing fan base I've ever seen in my life. The videos that have come out after the Commander stuff of people just standing there and they're literally just berating and harassing,
Yeah.
like literally physically assaulting people
Yeah.
for standing there. They can't win. I've gone to like Chiefs stuff before, and the fans are quite pleasant. They're enjoyable. Like there's always the banter. It's
if
not
you
bad.
look at head coaches, like Andy Reid, so much more likable than
For sure.
Sirianni. I mean,
So
like, all right,
I'm all for that. That's my personal
all
opinion
right,
on it.
we're gonna shift focus
Oh,
now.
we need to talk about the Packers Super Bowl champion Mason Crosby, and there he is.
This is my Super Bowl helmet, actually.
Is it actually your Super Bowl helmet?
Yeah. So,
Amazing. Does it still click in?
oh yeah,
He's strapped in. Let's go.
look how big that face of that opening was.
You're unobstructed. You can see everything.
That's why I could see everything.
Yeah, you can see it all. There is no blind spots with that. With
But
that
this is
football helmet.
this doesn't work for the podcast because this is how I always wore my chin strap until I like finally.
You put it down. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's uncomfortable to actually be like all the way on. I love
I
that
know.
you have your helmet and you just put it on. That makes me happy.
Well, I felt like it was fitting to transition to Packer talk. So
Yeah.
yeah, and this helmet is pretty much like I fought really hard to never switch helmets. So I pretty much wore the same model helmet for all 16 years. Every offseason, Red Batty, our equipment guy, would put a new helmet in my locker and he's like, hey, try this on. Like your helmet's like way down in like the yellow. Like it's pretty much not the code. I'd wear it for like one OTA practice, just to show good faith. And I'd just be like, oh my gosh, like, oh, this hurts so bad. Like I have a headache. I can't even kick today. Like this is ridiculous. And like so
My balance is off. It's so heavy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
You got to be comfortable. You got to feel good. Yeah. So let's talk Packers Super Bowl and what that journey looks like. Ours was wild. Dallas, snow, ice, all the stuff.
yeah.
Getting there
So
was wild. Rees had to drive 15 hours, 10 hours, whatever.
It was supposed
to
to be like a 5-hour drive, and it ended up being, I think, like 13 to 15. It was crazy. Like that was an experience. But I mean, that was the best part though. It was in our home state. You were this one? You were XLV? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and I think is today. Today's actually the 14-year
No way.
anniversary of that day. So good timing to be talking stories. Which think about 14 years ago.
That's crazy.
It's just
wild.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it doesn't feel that long ago, but it's it was 14 years, and I just remember like we're flying in, and then it's like they gave us all like a rental car, like a loaner car. Like when you got there, they just handed you keys and they're like, hey,
That's right.
But then they're like, wait, don't leave because you're gonna die out on the ice in the roads. So like I had this car all week, but I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. So I remember the first night we got there, we're like, we're gonna test the elements. Like we can drive in this. We're from Green Bay. And we were able to make it, and we went to Papacitos, old throwback Texas, the Papa's restaurants, and crushed that. That was on Monday night. Tuesday, I believe we went and saw a Dallas Stars game down in Dallas. So you kind of like ease into the week a little bit, and so Wednesday rolls along, and now it's still iced over, really nasty. They're finally maybe getting some of the roads clear. But we're practicing, which this is while Texas high school, Highland Park, has an indoor facility. And so SMU didn't have an indoor facility we could use. So we go to the high school, but we can't kick in there. So they're like, oh gosh, you can't not kick all week. It's Super Bowl, all that. So they bust the three specialists, me, Brett Good, and Tim Mastey, over to AT&T Stadium on that Wednesday to get a set of field goals in, which honestly, getting back and forth safely, praise God, like made it back and forth. It was actually an awesome experience. I mean, we got to kind of get comfortable in the stadium, got to, hit balls in there, feel it out, do all the stuff, do some cool fan engagement stuff, people hanging out. So I remember that. All I remember from that week, once Wednesday started, was literally just going back and forth to Dallas Stadium and like holding my breath as we are sliding on the highway. Police escort, cars are just in the ditch, and we're like the only ones trying to like traverse these horrible roads.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
because it's Dallas too, which is insane driving, one, and then there's million bridges and overpasses and
oh, they're so
everything was
slick. Yeah,
and there's no infrastructure to get rid of it. So like that's the problem is like, yeah, you're from Green Bay, you can drive in the snow, but like it's not snow, it's ice. Like no one can drive on that. Like it's crazy. And then obviously you have us Texas drivers that have no idea how to drive in any of it.
exactly.
So but yeah, that was the interesting part about all of that was yeah, the back and forth, the things that you guys had to do. Again, practicing at Highland Park. That's kind of a funny thing that I want to like reference again. Like the Dallas Cowboys for forever practiced at their preseason at a high school stadium as well, like
Yeah,
Coppell. Like they used to practice there, and it's high school football. And then you guys did Highland Park. Like I've driven through Highland Parks. Like I had a job in sales where I had to go to like high schools and sell graphics. And driving through the parking lot, you're like, wow, look at this! Like Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, G wagons, everything. And then you turn the corner and you're like, well, that's like a Honda Civic and Altima. You're like, oh, that's the teacher's parking
the
lot. All
teachers
the fancy
parking. Yeah.
cars were the students.
It's a problem, and it's something we're battling now living in Brentwood,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
know you
But that's yeah,
I knew you were
Matt
going there,
Stafford.
so I tried to
I
get
didn't
ahead of
go
it.
there. I didn't go
You
there.
you would have. You
I'm not,
totally would have.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah,
Brentwood
Matt
Nolan.
Stafford went to Highland Park. But so
Okay.
during the week, what else is going on? You guys are busting back and forth.
Well,
You
and
having
then
meetings, practicing.
everyone, family got there, I think Thursday, and it was like, and then we had a party at Uncle Doug's like
House of Blues.
condo. No, we did one. Well, we did one at
Oh,
House
we
of
did the
Blues.
condo.
But I think I just popped in, said hi. Y'all had a great night and all that. And then he had one with all the family and everybody at his condo. So it's like this whole week of festivities. So you try to balance like football and getting prepared for the biggest game of your life with hosting and like the excitement of what everyone has coming to the game. So you want to make sure that all that. And for me, it's like all of that is important. It felt so normal just to have family around and to like not just be like so like uber focused and like hyper focused on this is the biggest game of your life. This is all these things. Like just stay true, stay in the moment, go and attack this like anything else. And so like moving into the game day, and I still remember Cullen, I think it was Cullen Jenkins. He had never ran out in front, or yeah, was it Cullen? It was one of the big guys. Never run out in front of the team. And like at the beginning, like whenever we're announced, and he decides to like elbow me basically out of the way and get out in front and like make sure that I was like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I've run out first with this team like every game for the last, the whole year. And in the Super Bowl, you decide now you want
he's
to give
got to be up
effort,
there.
like just
The
to be
fastest
seen.
fastest he's ever ran in his life. But
Oh,
like I remember that too. I think if I remember correctly, it was like Atari Bigsby like was the first one. He was like doing some crazy jump
yeah.
run thing, and it was like again same thing. It's like none of these people have been leading out the tunnel the whole time, but
But
it's
and
a
then
buildup.
so the game's going, uh, but I'm at the Super Bowl, and like you don't obviously I never got a chance to go back. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to sneak out at halftime a little early and watch the halftime show because
Black
it's
Eyed
like
Peas.
it's Black Eyed Peas, and I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna check this out. They wouldn't let me like on the sideline, like I'm in like the tunnel, like trying to see and like do. I'm like, come on now, like this is I need the front row seat to this thing. Which again, not very courteous. Didn't have a lot of time to warm up. It's like such a
Oh,
crazy
unbelievable.
thing. But anyway, so then obviously go on. We win this game. Awesome ending to it. Jared Bush, gets the last play, and we get to kneel this thing out. And we are Super Bowl champs. It's like everything you dream about as a kid when that confetti releases, and you're just
Oh,
like looking at
yeah.
your teammates, and you're looking up, and you're just like, is this really happening? And then getting to have family around and all the stuff. And then we head to the after party. and we
Oh
go,
man,
and Kid Rock is playing, and
that was
it's
cool. That
honestly
was
a
fun.
relatively small. It's just like a ballroom, right? And so it's like
Yeah,
free.
it was at just the hotel, like, little conference room where they have, like, probably a couple divider walls that they just push back. So, like,
Yeah,
it's just a hotel's conference like,
yeah.
room. That's what it is. It was nothing, yeah, nothing
And
crazy.
he like Kid Rock went for like 2.5 hours. I
Yeah.
mean, he was going. We almost got like got kicked out of my like the Super Bowl after party because it's open bar, and
Yeah.
I'm like no, I wasn't getting a beer fast enough, so it's like I just reached over, grabbed one. He's like, "You do that again, you're out of here." And I was like, "What?"
Let's see your
So
clippers. Let's
so
see you kick me out of here. Come
we
on,
were
what do you
getting
mean?
heated up.
That
We
was
partied with
I
Johnny
remember that.
Drama
Yep, yep.
and the other Dylan brother. I didn't know there was another Dylan brother. Remember he was there.
Yeah. That
So
was
that
that was the funniest part for me. Though, is like literally, we've talked about this. Like we're in the after party, just won the Super Bowl. Hanging out with Jordy and Aaron and all the normal guys. But then all of a sudden, someone comes over and was like, "Drama's here," and we're like Entourage Drama. And they're
yeah,
like, "Yeah." We're like, "Let's go." And we're like, "Drama, what's up?" Hanging out, and I'll never forget it. He disappeared for a little while, and we're like, "All right, he left or whatever." He comes back. He's like, "Reese, there you are. I got you a drink." And I was like, Drama
that
knows my
happened.
name and got me a drink. That was like a life highlight for me.
We were best friends. We didn't stay in touch, but I still think that those memories will last a lifetime. But so then we end up, I think it was about 5 in the morning, decided we were hungry and headed to Whataburger in a taxi. And I just remember sliding it was like a minivan. I'm
Yeah,
just
because
sitting on the edge.
Ubers weren't really a thing. So we had to
Yeah,
rent a van taxi to
it
go
was a real
to.
taxi. Get
Yeah.
everyone that could to the Whataburger, get some late early morning snacks. And so Packers for some reason decided that we needed to leave at like 9 a.m. the next morning. And I just remember someone knocking on the door, security, somebody coming, like basically waking everyone up to get them to the bus. I wake up and I'm like hugging the Whataburger bag. Like there's like not much was eaten. It was just like sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like
That
this was
that
the
was that was
most amazing epic night of our lives.
that was a hilarious moment just because, like, yeah, you slide the door open at Whataburger of the taxi, and you sit on the floorboard with your feet on the ground, like out of the taxi door, basically, like
Yeah.
ordering at the to go. And it was like everyone was yelling their order. You were
I
saying
was
it
like, I
back, and
got
then
this. I
yeah,
got
you're like,
this.
I got it. We're like, okay, cool. And then you ordered yours, and they're like, what do you want to drink? You're like, oh, that's a good one. That's a tough question. I don't know. But then that's the funny thing. Like the photos that we have basically of holding the Lombardi trophy are at like 5 a.m., like 4
Yeah.
a.m. Like by the time we got there, it was, everyone, it was just there in the lobby, and you could go and stand in line and hold the Lombardi trophy.
Yep.
I
We
mean,
have
that
a
was
great
an amazing night.
family photo with you, me, Quinn, and Ashley
Mhm.
all kissing the trophy. And yeah, that's gonna be a forever memory and such a cool moment. It is like it hurts thinking that we never got back, but we got one. And they
Yeah.
can never take that away. We have that Super Bowl. So
The fun thing is, real quick, from like the fans perspective, like a little bit
yeah.
of my backstory from that week was, Super Bowl day for you guys have a private police escort that you get right in, all this stuff. Well, not so much for the fans. You park a million miles away because Jerry World's ridiculous. You can't park anywhere near it. And I remember, like, me and Quinn, we were walking to like a tailgate party, and this girl walked past us, and we both kind of like glanced at her, glanced at each other. We're like, do we know her? Like, did she go to high school with us? That was literally what we were trying to, like,
Yeah.
was that like a high school friend? And we get to the tailgate party. They're like, you just missed it. Jessica Alba left. We're like, it was Jessica Alba. Like we
Oh,
weren't thinking of like
oh,
celebrities. We
dang.
like, it's just a football game. It's not, it's a Packers football game. We didn't have
No,
celebrities in our mind. Like,
that
and
was a
then
myth.
on the walk there, all three Jonas brothers, like we saw them.
That's a good
One of
question. Would you have been more excited for the Jonas Brothers knowing that it was them or Jessica Alba? Like who
Jonas
makes
brothers. Jonas
okay, yeah.
brothers. Oh,
I
for
was just
sure.
making sure. I was
All
making
day.
sure.
all day. Like
Yeah.
you can't approach Jessica Alba, the Jonas Brothers. I can be like, "What's up, guys?" Like,
Did we have this conversation the other day? We were trying to like think of all their names. It's like Nick Jonas is like David and like Kevin. Isn't one of them Kevin?
I don't know. It's like a Jonas? Is one like the Deuce? Is
I
it
think it's
Jonas?
Kevin,
Joe
Nick,
Jonas.
and like
Joe.
Joe. It was
Jonas.
Joe because yeah, we were like, oh, it's just so yeah, it's Joe.
Got it. Crushed it. And then like we get into line and literally it's like like I'm pretty sure by the time we got in line and got into the game was like almost 3 hours. It was insane. But we're standing there with like Mark Cuban literally talking to the cubes for like we didn't call him that, but I do now. Just this is the first time I've ever called him that. But the cubes was there. Talk to him, like other celebrities all over the place. It was crazy. Like you didn't think about it until it was happening. But about 3 hours from parking to getting into the stadium, like waiting in lines, security, like it was a wild experience. And like it was, yeah. But anyways, like all that to be said, you're up there. And one of my favorite memories was like the Nick Collins interception return for touchdown. That was and then the on the knees like celebration, like arms up, like so good,
classic.
But yeah, you got to kick a field goal in that game.
I'm hesitant to go to these games. I'm like,
you got to wait.
It's such a like a elite, like bougie, like playing.
You're a commoner now. You're a commoner. Just like
I don't know if I could just like do the whole process of getting into one of these games. That would just drive me nuts.
It's
like I appreciate the fans for taking the time. So fan appreciation quote. Thank you for taking the time and giving the effort and going into and watching these games, because without the fans, couldn't get it done. So let's segue to something kind of fun for this Super Bowl, and we're going to do an "It's Good" segment, and I want to talk about Super Bowl foods. So what's your favorite Super Bowl food? Like one, and then like what needs to be in like a Super Bowl food spread? Like what are kind of some of the essentials for me? And I think both of us, it's basically the Super Bowl charcuterie.
Yes, thank you. You're right, 100%. We're on the same
crackers, page. Just a nice block of cheddar cheese sliced up, and summer sausage.
Yep.
Nothing
you can do Colby Jack cheese if you're feeling frisky.
Cheese. Would you ever go pepper jack?
No, I wouldn't.
Can we have 3 different cheeses?
Is that I don't. Oh, I mean, we can try.
Is that illegal?
I don't think pepper jack's going to be the one. So, but it's summer sausage, cheese. Your choice, what may have you, and club crackers specifically is that's number one always. And then like another thing. I mean, like we do like the crock pot queso kind of thing. That's always good. Velveeta, Rotel, and like Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage, like I'll put in there. It's so good.
The best. And hey, we talked a little bit about this. Do you prefer tortilla chips or the Big Dipper Fritos with the queso?
Tortilla chips. It was an experimentation last time with the Fritos, but
I like the Fritos. Like I like the thickness. I don't
get a bigger scoop. It's a better scooping mechanism for sure.
You can't if you're doing tortilla chips, I need like either the scoopers, like the Tostitos scoops, or like a thicker chip. Because I break a tortilla chip in that queso, it's over. I can't do it.
Yeah,
like,
I like that dip. I like that dip.
Break.
You gotta get that dip, and I dip it. Okay, I don't want to break nothing off when I'm eating my dip.
Stop.
What?
You dip, we dip, you triple dip.
I dip, you dip, we dip.
You triple
that queso dip. Oh
yeah, you do.
A triple dip. It's good stuff, man. So those are my for sure gotta have, and then everything else is just fun after that.
I was talking on the radio show today, and I was like, okay, like who's the jerk that brings like the veggie plate?
Yeah, like the celery and carrot stuff.
Yeah,
like they're not invited. I can tell you
that. The cauliflower and the broccoli, like the crunchy, like dry. You're just like, come on now. Like it's like I get it. Like maybe you want to like have it. I'll take a carrot occasionally, but it's almost like out of like guilt. It's like, okay, like someone brought like I'll eat a carrot,
Yeah.
but that's not what you want.
No one
And then
wants that. Not at
and
a
then
Super Bowl party. No.
for these types of games, what kind of beer are you drinking? Like kind of the basic, Miller Lights, just staples, or will you dive into like a craft beer, IPA,
Mhm.
like do something crazy? Like I'm definitely more of a like let's drink a Miller Light. Like I'm gonna go straight into like just the classics if I'm having a beer, on game day. Not
I
not when
think
I play,
when
but
it's
now that I'm retired, that's what I'm gonna do.
it was like in the Gatorade bottle, be like, "Hey, man, make sure you put a Miller Lite in there for this one." I mean, what? No.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? That probably never happened. Maybe.
That never
Anyways,
happened,
but
Reese.
sorry, it never happened. But no, like normal regular season, like yeah, craft beer here and there, whatever. But like Super Bowl, I feel like yeah, a Miller Lite is like the way to go. Just like a normal everyday, beer that you can have like that. That's I feel like the go-to because you're eating so much food too. You got to
Yeah,
keep it
you
light.
gotta
Got to keep
break
it
it
light with
down.
the beer. It's all
Yeah.
about balance, man.
It is
The
balance.
cheese and the summer sausage and then the beer. Like that's the balance. You got to find
That
that.
is the balance. And, I feel like we will probably achieve that this Sunday. It's,
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be weird now, being retired and watching this game. Like, I I don't know. I'm just trying to lean
What's
into
gonna
it.
be
Like,
what's gonna be any different than all
it
the other years that we watched it when you weren't playing? Like it's the same in it. Like it's the same thing. It's gonna be no
you're
different.
right.
Except you're gonna be
You're right.
wearing your like retirement slippers. That's the only difference.
Dude, I've been wearing these. Yeah, it's bad. These retirement slippers are a staple now. I don't think I
Yeah.
wear anything else for until I leave the house. I forget sometimes when I'm leaving that I have them on, and I may or may not always change. I don't always.
You're
One
gonna be
time,
like the crazy guy at the store with like the wild hair and he just has like boxers and slippers on. That's just gonna be you, like here in like a week, basically.
I haven't gone that far, but honestly, like I went into a grocery store the other day, and I did like it was the first time I kind of like looked down, and I was like, "What am I doing?"
Look at myself. Like, look at
Pretty
me.
much,
Like, what is
I had these slippers on.
just
I was like,
disgraceful.
I had shorts and like a golf jacket on,
Oh
and
God.
nothing matched. Everything. I was just like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
But yeah, so
So
we love
so
the game.
real I got a question. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Like Spencer put in the chat here, producer, that did you watch the game when the Packers were in the Super Bowl? Like I can answer that. That's the answer is yes to that. We always watched it. But
Yeah.
one of the questions that I have, like, doesn't every player get tickets to the Super Bowl? Is that true? Is that a
You
thing?
get access, you can buy them, yes.
Okay.
So,
Do you know anyone that isn't in the game that but like actually goes to the Super Bowl? Like, did you ever have a teammate that went to like the Patriots Super Bowl or whatever?
I
Like,
think I think there are some guys that go and do the festivities and doing all of that, but, like, I have no real interest in, like, going again into the stadium and doing the game stuff. Like, I hope,
mm,
now it's like I hope at some point, even it'd be fun. You and we gotta get our podcast on Radio Row and go and like just interview
oh
people like on a daily
yeah,
basis. Let's get our media credentials rolling for next year. And so yeah, I would love to go and do the fanfare, do all the stuff around the game and like the party of it all. And then I love watching the game at home. I love being at home, hanging out, and just, kind of getting to experience it, watch the commercials, do all the fun
yeah,
stuff that go along with it. It's good, but I love football and I love sports. So like to watch the game has always been kind of a privilege, for our family. I feel like it's like we enjoy the time together watching these games. I was always bummed whenever we didn't make it there, but I also
yeah,
appreciated the fact that these teams battled, they found a way and they got there. And for me, sometimes too, when I was playing, it was like I was watching and kind of building that momentum into the offseason of like, this is the goal. we will get there next year, right? And it's like
Yeah.
you just kind of start framing your mind right in that moment, because literally after the Super Bowl, every year, like the week after, it's like I'd sit down and I'd evaluate the season. I'd write down like kind of all my critiques and like positives from the year, and then start setting my goals for the off season in the following year. So Super
No,
Bowl
that makes
marks an
sense.
end to everything, that season was and all of that. So for me, getting to watch it is kind of like a privilege of this caps off the year, and now we can move on into the off season. So uh
Yeah.
man, I'm excited. I can't wait. We'll be watching together. And I'll be I can't say I'm not gonna be cheering on the Eagles. I can't say it.
You
I won't
can't
be
now.
cheering them on. I win the
I
the
always just hope
prediction,
it's a
but
good game, right? At this point, you just want it to be like an entertaining viewership. I mean,
yeah,
It's Super Bowl licks. It's better be fun. It better be a fun one. That's
I
what I
mean,
read.
yeah,
It was Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
licks. I
licks.
don't know if that's a
Nice.
sponsor or what that is, but it's Super Bowl licks
I
this
like
time.
it. All right. Well, we maybe we'll get some food, in you know, oh, one of those little like dip, like sugar dipper things. We'll get some of those. You don't
Like
like those?
the sugar
Like where
dipper
you,
things? Oh,
where
where
you
you
like
like
the
lick it
package.
and like
Yeah.
just food colored sugar. Like that
Just
was the
get
best.
crazy. Just
I'm
get
in.
crazy.
I'll get yeah, let's
All right,
go.
buddy. Hey, great show. First show post retirement. Um, I'm gonna. I'm not. I'm not. I would be lying if I said I'm gonna go put on some real shoes, because that's not happening.
No.
Just let these. I'm letting these
Take like
feet.
take an afternoon nap or something, It's about that
Dude, I've
time.
been working since 9. This is crazy. So, awesome, buddy. I really appreciate you. It's Kicking with the Crosbys. Listen, subscribe on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. YouTube channel. We we want you to subscribe. We get to a certain number of subscribers. The goal is like we get to 3,000. I'm going to give away these cleats behind me. I'll sign them. We'll send them to a subscriber. So
Yeah.
get on that app, subscribe now, enjoy this episode. Really appreciate you, buddy, and we'll talk next week.
See ya.
Later.